So let me start the recording. Okay. So, hi, everybody. I am Judi Glova, and for the last 17 years, I've been an executive coach and an expert in intuitive leadership. I'm also a facilitator of the Sedona Method, and I'm going to be leading this call. So, welcome to the February 17th Release and Recharge support call. And we're going to start with a group release. And then I'm going to give you an option to ask questions or ask for assistance. So, the other thing that I want to do before we start, especially if you're new to the Sedona method, is that the Sedona method doesn't require you to effort at all. So, there's no efforting. I like to think of it as, you're just making choices as to whether or not you want to hold on to something or you want to let it go. So I like the analogy of, cleaning out my closet. As spring is coming up, I like to think about how I can clean out my closet. And sometimes it's the decision of whether I want to hold on to an old piece of clothing or if I just want to toss it and donate it. So that's literally what releasing is like. It is the process of just deciding. So I'll be asking you some questions, and you're just going to be answering inwardly yes or no. And it doesn't actually matter whether you answer yes or no, because you'll notice that just by answering the question, you'll have a release. You'll be able to release any type of tension that is kind of stored up. So again, I'm not going to be asking you, it's not a command. I'll be asking you, could you let things go? Would you notice? Those kinds of things. So all you have to do is just allow yourself to become fully present in the moment. And if you'd like, you can actually close your eyelids and take a nice deep breath and just let it go. And just allow yourself to be. And allow yourself to just stop. And could you just be who you are? So today's release, we're going to be focusing on apathy, that feeling of boredom or being drained. So many of the people that I've been working with recently have just been experiencing so much of that with all of the current issues with health and uh, the society, as well as politically. There's just so much change and people are just feeling really drained. So could you allow yourself in this moment to notice any sense of apathy, any sense of boredom, feeling drained, maybe even lazy? And could you allow yourself to notice the pictures, the sensations, any sounds that come to mind? And could you allow yourself to notice any stories that you may have about apathy, any conclusions that you may have drawn about yourself or others? Could you just welcome those as best you can? And now, could you allow yourself to notice any wanting to push it away or hold it close? Any wanting to do something with or about that feeling of apathy? And now, can you notice any sense that that apathy is yours? Any sense of me, mine, them, or theirs? Or could you notice any sense that that's important to you? That it's somehow important for you to either get rid of it or to figure it out or fix it? And could you allow yourself in this moment to just let go as best you can, even if it's just a little bit? Kind of like throwing away something from your refrigerator that's no longer good, or maybe donating that piece of clothing from your closet. Can you just allow yourself to just let go of that apathy as best you can? And let's go through that once again. Can you allow yourself to welcome any sense of apathy, any sense of feeling numb, lost, overwhelmed, drained, or maybe indifferent, that you just don't care, that maybe you've given up on something? Can you just allow that to be here as best you can? And now, could you allow yourself to notice any sense of attachment or aversion to what's ever in front of you right now, what's ever present? Can you notice any sense of wanting to fix it, change it, figure it out, somehow do something with or about it? And can you welcome that wanting even more? Can you notice any place that you may be storing that in your body? And can you notice if it has a texture or a temperature or a size or a shape? And could you allow yourself just to notice it, just to be present with it as best you can? So often we get stuck in one of our emotions because we're in this tug of war. We're trying to push it away or we're trying to hold it close. And it's this push and pull. We think we're trying to ignore it or push it to the back of our minds, but it keeps on popping back up. Similarly to when, if you've ever had a beach ball that you've tried to hold under the water, eventually it pops up and hits you in the face because it's impossible to keep those thoughts or feelings suppressed. So, could you allow yourself to just have that wanting of wanting to do something with or about that apathy and just Allow it to be here. Just allow it with acceptance. Just accept it the way it is. You actually don't have to do anything with or about it. There's no efforting involved. And now, could you just notice any sense of taking it personally? Any sense that it's yours? Any sense of me or mine? And once again, can you allow any sense of apathy that's left over? Can you just allow it to be present? And can you notice? Let's take a deeper dive and just notice what is at the essence or the core of that apathy? And what does it arise from? What is it contained in? And to what does it return to? And can you allow yourself to notice? Are you that apathy, or are you that which is aware of the apathy? And I think you'll notice that you are the awareness in or on which that apathy appears. So just allow yourself to notice that sense of awareness that you are. And notice that sense of awareness that's peaceful and calm. And if there's anything left over, can you allow yourself to just put it in a big soap bubble and just allow that soap bubble to rise and float away? And could you allow yourself to rest as that awareness that you are, that self illuminating light that is always present within you, that is from you, of you, in you, and around you? And could you allow that light to fill every atom, every cell, every tissue of your body from head to toe? And could you allow that light to envelop your entire body and shine brightly into the room. And as best you can, even if it's just a little bit, can you allow that light to expand out into the world and even out into the universe? And can you rest as that awareness and light that you are? Okay, great. Okay, so before we transition into the Q&A and the anything that you want to share, I invite you to open up the chat box and you can actually state your name and say whether or not you want assistance or you want to ask a question, or you can actually write in any type of aha moment or any gain that you had or experience that you had during that group release, any questions. I'll be able to call on you if you actually want to be called on. And while you're doing that, I also want to just give you a little bit of background too. We started with today with that group release on apathy, which is based on the chart of emotions that Lester had outlined, and Lester Levinson being the man who actually started the Sedona method. And in that chart of emotions, there is, a rising of energy, and apathy is at the bottom. So it's apathy, grief, fear, lust, anger, pride. And then it switches over into this more open space where we're coming from a place of courageousness, acceptance, and peace. So as we actually travel, and when I say travel, it's you're not really going anywhere, but as you let go of these different levels of emotions in the chart of emotions, it's more or less like your energy and your consciousness is rising. Now, with that said, I want to mention that, there's nowhere to go when it comes to releasing, and you could potentially have a spontaneous release in one session where you're completely open and aware. We're all in a state of awareness. It's just to what degree. And I also want to point out that if you think of a spiral, kind of like a spiral that goes up to, on around and around, like a spiral staircase that keeps on going up and up and up and has a point at the top. That's kind of the journey that we go through when we go through releasing emotions, because you kind of come around the corner again and again. So sometimes we may be releasing on apathy, even 6 months from now, and you may release something different because it's like an onion. You're constantly peeling the onion. So I like to think of the chart of emotions as being a way to process through the different layers. And you may have released a lot today. And if not, we can always revisit it and be able to release even more. So I see, hi, Keith from Sedona, Arizona. How are you? So great to welcome you here. So I do want to ask, so are there any questions, any wanting to have assistance? Maybe there's a particular issue that you're dealing with right now. From Kim, thank you. I would like to release more blocks. Had anger come up in the group release with love assistance. Okay, great. All right, so Kim, let me just, I'm asking to unmute you, Kim. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Do you want to stay off video or on video, or do you have a
I'm, yeah, I do off video. Yeah.
Problem. I'll see your picture and there's my little avatar.
I think that's so cute. Great. So Oh, I do love the flower. Is that a flower in your hair?
Yeah, it is, it's, in Australia, they call it frangipani, I think here
Yes.
call it plumeria, I think
Yeah.
here.
It is my favorite flower in the whole world, and when I lived in Hawaii, I had a plumeria tree or bush or whatever you wanna call it right outside my window, so
Oh,
every morning I used to smell them. Yeah, it's my favorite scent in the world.
oh, oh, that's great. Yeah, it has a special just kind of heart
Yeah.
connection for me, and, wow, I'm just really tearing up. I have so much, um I know I'm on the verge of a breakthrough, which is why I feel so darn uncomfortable,
Oh,
and,
okay.
it was just perfect to get your email this morning. It was like, "Have you hit a wall?" And so I totally get it, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I've, that quote by Lester of, or that release of being open to having everything you need as you need it.
Yes.
So I went through and I was reading your email, and then I felt really inspired to look at your website and just go through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think, I think what I need is going to come through Judy today. I had no idea. I thought I was going skiing all day, but
Well,
but
maybe this is a different kind of ski. This is gonna be a different
exactly,
kind of, yeah, a different kind of slope.
exactly, exactly. And so, just to I think what's facilitating this next level of stuff to
Mhm,
least is, I've been feeling drawn to step into leadership again. I've definitely had some beliefs that, "Oh, I don't do it well," or blah, 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 but my
mhm,
vision is, um, to really support I okay, so I coach, I'm
mhm,
a coach, I'm a facilitator, I'm a trainer. I've used to lead retreats in the outdoor wilderness settings,
mm,
outdoor leadership retreats through outdoor programs, and I've been doing a ton of coaching in this last year.
uh-huh,
Specifically using the Sedona method and supporting budding entrepreneurs and people in corporations to feel lighter and freer, to feel
right,
calmer and confident about the direction they're going. And I mean, in the situation I was in, it was satisfying when it was, but I know something in me is needing to grow.
okay. And
And so,
you mentioned anger and then hitting a wall and stepping into leadership. So
yeah,
what are you thinking? What's present for you in terms of what you wanna release?
I think there's some beliefs around, being a woman of color, and I
Mhm.
know that must be something because it's bringing up tears,
Mm,
and a lot of story about it's not safe to put yourself out there.
mhm,
So maybe there's that wanting approval or fear of disapproval and also wanting to feel safe.
mhm. Yeah, that's the whole enchilada, right?
Yeah,
The wanting enchilada, that's what I call
the
it.
wanting enchilada and just that feels like what's underneath it, and it's this feeling of, like, when somehow I can just get in these situations and when I'm asked to facilitate or lead, it's, like, magical. But
Uh-huh.
now I'm looking at this mountain that I'd like to climb
Mm,
and really do this work in the outdoors
mhm,
and, like, really do it underneath my own business more clearly and really tie it to the wilderness, and somehow there's this anger around somehow, "Oh, you can't do that.
hmm,
Oh, it's not safe to do that, and who are you?" There's hardly any I mean, there's very few women of color in the outdoor industry as leaders, and, when I was in there, it was something that I always felt edgy about, and I felt like there's this anger about, like, somehow having to be the representative or having to,
Right.
you know what I mean? To be the
Yeah.
representative of women or representative of the race, and that anger about having, maybe it's anger at myself for feeling like I have to be perfect or
Right. Are you
have
trying
it
to
all
figure it
together.
out, Kim?
I think I am. Really. I'm
Could
trying to
you allow your I
just
know, I
just
love the context. I love the context that you're giving me because this is really, really helpful.
yeah.
And I want yeah, and I just wanna know, could you allow yourself to just kinda let go of wanting to figure it out for just right now?
No! Like, my heart is so
Okay. Well, then, Kim, can you allow it to sit next to you like your best friend?
Okay. Alright. Give me a moment. Gosh, my heart is just pounding, and it feels like it's breaking.
Oh, great.
Oh my gosh.
Just allow it to sit next to you because it wants your attention. It doesn't wanna go away. It just wants your attention.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea this morning when I woke up that there was all this ready to come out.
Yeah. Well, maybe a part of you did. Could you allow yourself to allow whatever is to come up with ease and grace?
Yeah.
Great. And can you allow that whole story? Can you just allow yourself to close your eyelids and just allow that whole story, kind of like a filing cabinet? Open up the filing cabinet and let all of those stories, all the scenes, all the sounds, all the conversations that you've had with yourself or with others that surround this whole belief of, not being safe as a woman of color, or that, you have the burden of having to carry that representation, or that feeling of the fear of disapproval. Can you just allow that whole thing to just be present?
Yes.
And can you notice, are you that, or are you that which is aware of that story?
Oh, really aware of the story.
Okay, great. And with that, can you allow yourself to notice any wanting approval, control, security, separation, or oneness?
You have a strong feeling of wanting separation.
Mm, yeah. So, can you welcome that wanting separation, that wanting to just be separate, just
Yeah.
not have to deal with it? Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And can you notice that sense, or any sense of it's important, or it's about you or who you are?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah. And just for the moment, can you allow yourself to let go of wanting to be that one with the story?
Yes.
And let's go through that again. Can you just allow yourself to notice what comes up for you now? It could be a different layer of that story, it could be something that you left out before. Can you just allow whatever's left to be present now?
Yes.
And can you allow yourself to just notice any wanting to do anything with it or about it?
Yes.
And can you notice any sense that you're holding on to it? Maybe you're holding on to some for later?
Uh, actually, I'm not really aware of that. There's a lot of energy moving.
Okay.
I can literally feel like something's unclenching in my chest.
Oh.
That's really got my that's what appears where attention's
Oh, okay.
focused.
Okay, so maybe that's what I was picking up. I was picking up the flow of the energy. Okay, so can you just allow it to flow through you? Just open up that channel of energy and just allow it to flow through with ease and grace.
Yes.
And can you notice any sense that this is personal about you or who you are?
Yes.
And let's take a little deeper dive. Can you notice what's at the essence or the core of that story?
Yeah, there's, if I get down really what's here now,
Mhm.
and and it's actually wow, this is it's that I'm not enough, you don't deserve, how dare you? Don't you even think. Like that feeling of um and even that, even as I'm saying it, it's already starting to dissolve. Like really I can start to feel like, wow, using that story to be separate, like those beliefs to like really be
Yeah.
separate. Yeah.
And could you put those stories, just can you allow them to be kind of like little clouds, like each one of them, can you just allow them to kind of float up a little bit?
Yes.
And could you
Mhm.
imagine yourself like opening a window and just allowing, you don't have to effort, just allow them to float out when they want to.
Yeah. Okay, what's here now, and it's part I think this is one in the clouds, I'll just say it and maybe it'll help too, is
Sure.
there's this fear of like, if you let those go, then you'll be abandoned by your tribe.
Mm, right. So can you allow that sense of abandonment to be present as best you can?
That is so intense. Yes.
And could you actually just let that sit next to you? Because it wants your attention.
Yes. Mhm.
And can you just love on that abandonment and just love on it and just fill it with the love and cherish it and just give it the attention that it needs.
Wow, yeah. Wow. Whew. Whew.
Yeah. Can you just let it sit on your lap and just give it a hug?
Yeah. There's just this funny image of, like, kids, like a kid and, like, we're eating, I don't know why, peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like, is that just random? But we're love and this, like, "Let's eat how's your peanut butter and jelly sandwich?"
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's the funniest things that come up.
yeah. I love it. Your inner child is very playful. I
Oh
love
my
that.
god. I
So
know,
playful.
it's like, "What kind of jelly's in your sandwich?"
Great.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Whew.
yeah. And can you just allow that to just be? Like, it doesn't even have to go anywhere. It can just be around you and play around you and just protect you and guide you because that's all it really wants to do, you know? It just wants you to feel safe, right?
Y yes.
So can you notice
Oh,
any.
wait. There's something there that
Go ahead.
it wants me to feel safe.
Mhm.
So that feeling of, like, the fear of being abandoned by the tribe and all those things, those yucky feelings, like, they actually want me to know that I'm safe.
Right.
Okay, that hang on, just give me a moment to welcome
Oh,
that.
absolutely. Yeah, just allow that to flow through and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That that feels really potent.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a huge mindset shift, that the thing that I've been really suppressing or wanting to push away is actually wanting the exact opposite
Yeah.
of what I was thinking
Yeah.
or subconsciously thinking.
Yeah. So can you fill yourself with that sense of safety and security and that protection?
Yes.
Awesome. And are you that which needs protection or are you that which is aware?
Aware.
And can you allow yourself to just rest as that awareness as best you can?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay, great. What's present for you now?
Oh, I feel a lot better. Yeah, I feel a lot better. I feel the feeling of I can, but also like
Mm.
just I also feel like there's just space to be here.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Mm.
I'm so grateful that you joined today because it's so interesting because when I work with the chart of emotions, I notice that sometimes when we release on apathy, because apathy is I can't, it's like once you release sometimes on the apathy, it's like the I can comes up. So that's why I love working with the chart of emotions because you just never know what's going to come up. And it can definitely dislodge whatever is, present for you. So I'm so grateful and really excited for your next step. So yeah, I'm curious. So if you were to do just one thing, whether it's something big or something small, can you think of one thing that you could do today?
Mm. Yeah, actually start writing a business plan.
Awesome. That's great.
At least just put the thoughts on paper and get them out of my head
Exactly.
and
Yep.
actually get it into a tangible form. I can take that action step.
Yeah. Because I really love whenever somebody's really looking to work on a plan, it's always good to just do one thing. And it really could just be setting a timer and doing it for 10 minutes, and that's enough. And then if you feel like you want to do more, do more. But yeah, just doing one thing to put yourself in that action, just also helps you release whatever's left over, or it'll help bring up something else.
Yeah, that it was actually I really loved when you started doing the apathy. I was so I was like, "Wow." Yep, and it was amazing how as that released, it literally, kind of like your Rise theme and the balloon, it felt like cutting a sandbag.
Mm.
Other stuff like that anger,
Yes,
was able to come up. Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
Oh,
so thank you.
you're
You
so welcome. You're
I'm
so
really
welcome.
grateful. This was very supportive
Oh,
today. Thank
you're
you.
very welcome and exactly what you needed. There are no such things as coincidences.
I know.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, thank you, Judy.
You're welcome, hon. I'm going to mute you now. Okay, so anyone else have any questions, comments, any requests for assistance? If you could please put them in the chat. Okay. I'm going to wait another moment. And as I'm waiting for you guys to put something in the chat, if you have anything extra, I also want to mention that I do have my February offer of one-on-one 45-minute sessions. If you want to do a session specifically on something that's coming up for you that maybe feels private, one-on-one sessions, 45 minutes for $79. And you can actually just go to bit.ly/clearpath45 and you'll go directly to my calendar and we'll be able to set up one-on-one time so that you can have your any challenges, anything that you want to work on. And I love working, obviously, when people have some kind of a goal or, oh my gosh, my dog wants to participate. Um, it's always great to work with people that have specific goals. But if sometimes the goal is just to release, what's coming up for you so that you can be more fully present and performing at your best, that is truly my calling. That is always my bottom line, my top line, my middle line. It's always being able to support you to be fully present and performing at your best. So I don't see any more comments or questions. So unless you want to unmute yourself and actually ask another question, we're going to close out for today. And I also want to remind you that we do have these calls twice a month on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. East Coast time, or wherever you are in the world. I think it's 6 a.m. Sydney time we start. So I look forward to hearing from you. And if there's anything that you want to ask me privately, you can also go to my email at info@judiglova.com. All right, everybody, have an amazing 2 weeks, and I will see you very, very soon. All right, lots of love and light and blessings for you. Bye-bye now.